Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well and hope you had a great 4th of July long weekend. It was very, very nice to have a couple extra days off. All right. I want to just start with looking at what has transpired so far this morning. We can see that the Dow opened down, kind of went flat, but it's negative. It dropped down, went negative, and now we are very close to the low of the day or the low of the morning. And here the uh, president signed the bill over the weekend as far as uh, going forward and so on. This is a bit of a surprise. And yet there are still tariff stuff that's going on and so on. So things are a little bit unsettled. But and of course there are the conflicts as far as Iran and Iraq. So anyway, not to get lost on all of that. If we look at the NASDAQ, sorry, can see it gap down, kind of went flat, and now it too is at the low of the day. It is the second lowest of the indices. The Russell is actually down a little bit higher percent. The S&P dropped flat down near the low of the day. Russell dropped way down, rose a bit, and then now is at the low of the day, and again down the highest percent. You can look at the carpet here and see that is a lot of red. That is a lot of red. There's a few equities that are green, but for the most part, it is red. Earlier, a lot of these were black, and that meant they were like close to the zero line, and now they have turned redder and more negative. So last week was green. That we had a nice rise on Friday. That the S&P and the NASDAQ were up toward or were in all-time highs, and they didn't close at the highest amount. They pulled back a little bit, but still we were at all-time highs. So what is happening? What can we expect? What is happening now? And I wanted to show you a chart of the Dow, and I'm going to cover this real quick. Let's see. Here we are. All right. Now I'm going to grab my pen. All right. So when I look at this, the NASDAQ and the Russell and so on, they were up here, all-time highs. We have not quite reached that on the Dow. You can see that right here is just a smidge above where we are today. That we were higher last week, because this is a weekly chart, meaning each candle is 5 days. We were a little higher last week. We are down here a little bit. So what does this look like? What is it showing us? What is it maybe saying? When you look at the overall economy and think, gosh, we're real close to all-time highs, it's like, woohoo! But what is there going on that suggests that it supports that? That, yes, some new things have passed, some tariff stuff is getting signed, but interest rates are still high. There's conflicts and so on. There isn't this overall mood like things are just wonderful and so on. So when I look at this chart, I am wondering. I look at this and say, here we are very close to all-time highs. I look over here to the left side and I say, huh, okay, this is where the high was. There was a pullback. Went back up toward that high again, and then there was a stronger pullback. Rose, and this is where we are right now, very close to those highs. What does this suggest might be going to happen next? And I say, I wonder if there will be a pullback that will last a number of weeks, few weeks, and then ultimately have this go up. And this, it could be down a week, down 2 weeks, up a little bit, down, up, it, there's dots and swings, little bits. But I wonder if this will pull back and then head up again, creating what they call an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And so you think of somebody that's standing on their head. And so this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. And so maybe in the fall, through the summer, that will create what this is, and then ultimately we will head up into an all-time high. That there have been certainly other periods that this has formed, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but in a sense, this could have been a head. This would have been a left shoulder, kind of right here, right shoulder. And we can take this all the way back to here and say there was several shoulders, then the head up here, several shoulders, and then it finally rose. And so this happens, that things you look and say, woo, we're close here to the all-time highs, getting ready. And it might do that. I can't imagine with all the stuff going on what would support that as far as, interest and tariffs and all of that kind of stuff. Or it could be that we are setting up for a pullback, and that is why we have had a negative day today after last week being so bullish and looking like it was getting very close to rising. So we will see how this all plays out. And we'll check in again next week when I sit and chat, and we will see what has transpired and how things are playing out. I hope you have an awesome, awesome week, and I will talk to you again next Monday. Take care.